Hello boys, it's Dan. Welcome back to the Premier League. Yes, boys, we have another round of Premier League Game Week 24 predictions now. Last week's guest, Mr. Sam T, got himself a quite appalling game. Not the best for Sam, but no guest this week because we get cancelled. But next week we have Jack, aka Freddie King, on. And that's next week, but this week, Premier League Game Week 24. Boys, if you want a discount on your energy, go and get my discount in the description. New Dan 10 at checkout. Peace. And we start off with Nottingham Forest versus Brighton and Hove Albion. Now, Forest got battered 5 or 4. I think it was 4 or 5-0 by Bournemouth. No one saw that coming. No one saw that coming at all. AFC Bournemouth beating Forest 5 or 4-0, but Brighton and Hove played Everton and they got a defeat. So both of these teams lost on the match day on 23. But I do think that it will be back to winning ways for Nottingham Forest by 3 goals to 1. 3 goals to 1 for Nottingham Forest. And now we move to AFC Bournemouth versus Liverpool. This game has potential to be special. 2 teams bang in form. Justin Kluivert and Danson Ouattara are in the form of their lives. Liverpool have also in the form of their lives as well. But Bournemouth are playing really, really well. AFC Bournemouth 2, Liverpool 3. It'll be one of those really, really interesting games. We now move to Everton versus Leicester City. Now, Leicester beat Tottenham Hotspur. Yes, you've heard that correctly. Leicester beating Tottenham Hotspur. Yes. And Everton are playing against AFC Bournemouth and losing. Oh, and winning. And winning against AFC Bournemouth. David Moyes has found a bounce back after. And we now move, and I'm going to say in this game, it will be a 1-1 draw between these 2 teams. And now we go to a game which is key, right down at the bottom of the Premier League table, which involves Ipswich versus bottom of the club, Southampton. Now, Ipswich find themselves back in the relegation zone after the Leicester win against Spurs on weekend. Man, and Ipswich got battered by Liverpool, got absolutely destroyed by Liverpool. But to be fair, they did score a goal at Anfield. But Ipswich need to win this game, and if they want to keep up this, if they want to keep in tabs with the top, they want to keep up the tabs with the teams above them. 2-1 to Ipswich Town, and we now go to Newcastle United versus Fulham. Now, Newcastle had a very comfortable victory against Southampton, but they were behind in the first couple of minutes to Southampton, but then came back to win it comfortably. And Fulham, as we know, are capable of performing an upset. They lost to Manchester United. We'll get on to Manchester United and their upturning form in a minute. But Newcastle, Fulham, I'm going to say in this one that it's going to be a very interesting game to watch. Newcastle 3, Fulham 1. Another couple of goals by Alexander Isak. I'm pretty sure Isak will score. Now we move to a Black Country derby between Wolves and Aston Villa. Two teams separated by about 50 about 10 or 15 miles. Yes, when I went to Wolves, they just like ages ago. We went past Villa Park on the way up to Molineux, but Villa have qualified for the last 16 of the Champions League in their very first season in the Champions League. Congratulations, Villa, did it really well there. And Wolves are in a relegation fight as well, and I'm going to say it will be an Aston Villa win the Black Country derby by 2 goals, 2-1. That Black Country will be the place to be on the Saturday, which will be. I move to the Sunday games, and starting off with Brentford versus Tottenham Hotspur. Now, Spurs had a young team out last night against Elfsborg, and they absolutely won like a prime. But Brentford, as we know, Brentford do like to put on a show at the community stadium. There's always goals there. It's the highest scoring ground this season. 3-2 Tottenham Hotspur. We now move to Manchester United versus Crystal Palace. Now, Man United have won 3 games on the spin, beating Rangers last Thursday, beating Fulham last time out, and beating FCSB last night in the Europa League. That comes after a bit of a bad showing, but we have one figure on the spin, which means is the Ruben Amorim era finally beginning to take its effect on this team. But Crystal Palace, on the other hand, played Brentford and they lost by 2-1. But United beat Fulham, like I said, and we win a 4th game in a row by 2-1 again. We now move to one of the biggest games of the game week, which involves second placed Arsenal versus 5th or 6th placed or 4th placed Man City. Now, this could be a title decider. If Arsenal lose this and Forest win, you would say Forest have a chance. If Arsenal win this, if Liverpool drop points, Forest and Arsenal, if Arsenal win this, Forest and Forest are out of the title race. But if Man City win, I think this is Man City who had a scare against who had a brief scare against Club Brugge on Tuesday night. No, Wednesday night, because it'll be a Wednesday night, you donut. And I'm going to say it'll be an Arsenal 2, Man City 2. We now go to the last game of the game week, and it is Chelsea versus West Ham, and Graham Potter returning back to Stamford Bridge. And I am going to say in this game that it's going to be an interesting one. Of Chelsea have had a few blips, but they did lose City. They did lose to Man City. Obviously, it's Man City, but I'm going to say Man City to win it. West Ham Chelsea to win it by 2-0, and that will bring game week 24 to an end. Now, no more Champions League and Europa League for a couple of weeks, because as we know, the draw for the playoffs is being drawn today in about, well, at 11:30, I think. So that will be something to look out for. But Premier League next week will be returning on Friday. Yes, I think. Well, we're having the FA Cup, Carabao Cup sort of week soon, so FA Cup will be back as well. So yeah, that like and subscribe, boys, and I will see you next week for Premier League. But what will happen in the title race. Will Arsenal and Forest both close the gap? Will Ipswich pull away? Will one of the bottom 4 teams pull away? Will Spurs win a game finally? Find all that out and a lot more next week. Goodbye. Peace.